21 degrees Celsius, clear skies, and a lovely day, most would say, racing here at Villeneuve. Taking a look at the track then, we have 2.7 miles, 3 DRS zones, and an average speed of 137 miles per hour, 6 turns to the left and 8 to the right, along with the deadly wall of champions coming through the chicane for turns 13 and 14. Tyre compounds for today will stretch from the C2 soft, C3 medium and C4 hards, with drivers having the flexibility of choosing which tyre they start the race on today. Speaking of drivers, let's go and take a look at the starting grid. Max Chapman starts on pole by less than a tenth from the McLaren of Torben, starting in P2. Second row, we have Dylan Hartley back in his Mercedes alongside the other Red Bull of Josh O'Mara. We have a third row lockout here for the Ferraris of Joel Foxall and Callum McGrath, both with respectable times in qualifying. Adam Forbes in a respectable P7 today, smashing performance by the Williams alongside Joe Robertson, missing out on P7 only by a few thousandths of a second. James Wilson in P9 alongside Alex Peake in P10. Moving on down to the sixth row of the grid now, we have the Aston Martin of Zach Plant, planting his Aston Martin in P11, with Smits behind his teammate in a comfortable P12. Widdowson in the other Haas will be in P13, with the Williams of Taylor Hume back from his holiday now in P14. Both Alphas lock out the 8th row of the grid, Gomez and Hike starting alongside each other. Archie Middelfeld is in Spa this weekend, and Andre is set to start in P18 alongside him. At the rear of the grid, we have both Lucas Silva and Ryan Harper finishing off the starting grid for the Canadian Grand Prix. Let's get the show on the road. Hello. Sorry, I was kind of... It's Casper here. We're joined very conveniently by Casper. Good evening.
Yeah, hello.
Oh,
I
hang
can't
on.
seem to see your screen.
Can you see
there we
it?
go.
No.
Yeah, am I quiet? Am I quiet?
I've just turned you up. Can we get an audio AV check in chat, everybody? Are we all good? Wait, Josh is... What? Did the custom grid not? Oh, no. It was... Josh, I can confirm it was definitely in the correct order that I sent the screenshot of. Is it? Uh-oh. Hang on. I like, everything was fine. Is it just Josh, or is it everybody? Uh-oh. We have a slight few issues here in the production of this stream. However, honestly, everything was perfect. We're getting 5 out of 5 for audio. How is that even happened? Hang on a minute, guys.
The whole grid just messed up.
I don't know if it's the whole grid or just Josh. But I'm pretty sure Josh was in P4. Muted? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh no, Hassan's trolling. Right. Yeah, why has it put Josh at the back?
Yeah, that is interesting. But yeah, nevertheless, Canada round 4.
I'm having it. Yeah, give me a second. I wonder,
Yeah,
Josh,
yeah.
did you change your driver potentially? Oh, Josh is racing now though. I mean, we can't really do anything about it. Josh, we can only apologize about that. I'm sorry. Anyway, we'll put all that to the side. We're here at Canada, just before the Miami Grand Prix in real life. I'm very excited for this, and yeah, we've got 15 drivers. It looks like, as they're just starting the formation lap. I don't know what to expect today, but hopefully it should be good.
Yeah, definitely an interesting qualifying for a championship. Joel Fox all the way down in P4. Would have been P5, but obviously a glitch with Josh. But yeah, Canada, once again, Dylan Hartley proving himself. He is very quick around these, street circuits. And in the slower corners where there's lots of time to gain. But yeah, regardless, Canada, a very classical circuit. Obviously, Hamilton's first win, if I'm not wrong, and producing one of the most classical races in F1 history in Canada 2011. So let's hope it will be as good as Kenco F1 as well.
Hell yeah. It's good to have you back as well. Obviously, we did have Jamie in the last, I think, 2 weeks, 1 week or so. So yeah, it's good to have you back, Casper. With your crazy full of energy and crazy love for this sport. But yeah, it's going to be good. I feel bad for Josh still, but I'm hoping that's not my mistake. But as far as I'm concerned, it was where it was on the grid. So we'll have a look after the race. But hopefully Josh can make up those positions during the Grand Prix. But yeah, I mean, Ferrari's P4, P5. Yeah, they obviously didn't do too great in quali yesterday. Not where they wanted to be, but you know, there's still potential for them to win this Grand Prix today. But they're all lining up on the grid ready and raring to go.
Yeah, of course, the final drive is now rounding up the grid, and I believe we have a green flag being waved, but still showing us yellow for the time being. Regardless, I think the session is about to start. We've got the green flag. Lights are coming up and alive. Max Chapman on pole position. Will he get jumped by Torben into the first corner? Off they go. Max Chapman looks like he might have had a little bit of a slower start compared to Torben Schutt. It's free wide into turn one. Max Chapman keeps the inside line. Torben Schutt goes ahead into turn two, and that looks like he'll pull ahead as well.
Absolutely, there was a Ferrari there as well on the grass, going down there into the straight, taking it very risky as they're coming through the chicane, going back through the grid. Yeah, a very good start there by Charlie up into P1. He'll be very happy with that. Quite a clean first sector there by most of the grid as Callum McGrath overtakes his teammate into P4, and Josh has already made up 2 positions.
Torben Schutt put himself on a strategical position on the outside of the first corner, inside of a second. That's what helped him get past. So he jumps Max Chapman into the second corner, and Josh Romero already made up 4 positions off the start.
I mean, that's what we want, though. You know, little mistakes like that, human errors can happen. But yeah, it's really good to see Josh already up those 4 positions, and hopefully he can continue to work his way through the grid and get a really good position today. But yeah, really good to see. He's up to P10 now. Absolutely crazy drive there by Josh, overtaking even more people as he's now eyeing up a move on Silver, as there's 3 wide just behind him there. Going down the main straight, and the Wall of Champions as well. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on, but this chicane up here, it's proven very difficult for some drivers over the past, as we've just seen, I'm not so sure that, I think that was Jay Robinson there, take it very, very awkwardly.
Yeah, something interesting to take note is that Torben Schutt's currently ahead on mediums compared to Max's softs. So Max really needs to try and push ahead for the time being to try and regain that lead. But yeah, once again, a great start from Josh, already up into the World Championship points. So he'll be making up that lost position up for Red Bull and help push the constructor title even further.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, yeah, we're halfway through the season now, round 4 of round 8 here. It's a bit of a shortened season this time round, but every point does certainly matter for the constructors and both the drivers as well. Obviously, Joe and Max fighting out to get the drivers' championship this year, and so he's going to definitely want to get the podium today of P1. But yeah, as it's looking currently, we've got Charlie in P1. Max P2, and then Dylan Hartley keeping his P3 there, as I believe the Ferraris have switched again with Joel Foxall back in P4.
Yeah, that would look like it, but yeah, Max Chapman still trying to eye a move, and it's going to be into the Wall of Champions for the chicane. Oh, and that's very close between the 2 drivers. McCann cutting it very close there. I think that might have been a little bit off track, but I think that's just hard racing there.
Certainly so. Are you able to reinvite Matt as well, if that's okay, Casper? I'll be very grateful. There's also another driver to point out as well, Taylor Hume. I believe he started. We'll go and get cameras on him now, as Callum McGrath goes and sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:11. But yeah, I mean, Taylor Hume, he's already made up sort of 4 or 5 positions. We're going to have a look at what sort of positions gained and lost in a moment. But yeah, really good drive there by Taylor. Williams might be considering to swap the drivers potentially if Taylor's got the pace to keep going, rather than obviously Adam potentially slowing him down, although I'm not sure if that's looking like the case at the moment. And yes, John, we do already do that, but I don't know if I don't think we've got a way of linking the YouTube channel. But these are uploaded, sort of the VODs from Twitch. We do want to make them sometimes into some sort of highlights, but it's just sort of time and things like that, as we see a little bit of desync there from Max Chapman. But yeah, Callum McGrath still with that fastest lap. He's going to want to keep that as well till the end of the Grand Prix. I'm not sure why that graphic's staying there, but it should be disappearing.
Yeah, top 5 being very close all pretty much throughout the race so far. Now DRS
Zach,
as well.
I've just seen Zach there retired from the session. I'm not sure if that's going to cause any sort of safety car or anything like that. But yeah, Zach Plant is retired from the session. That is a full safety car. I'm not sure. Obviously, we can't fully get eyes on what's happened there, unfortunately. But yeah, all the drivers slowing down to pretty much 40% speed, as we see there the safety car coming out of the pits, and all the drivers will be told to overtake the safety car and then follow it up behind. So yeah, lap 4, we've already got a safety car there from because of the Aston Martin.
Yeah, what I wonder is if it's still a 2-stop in the 2021 game. Obviously, a 50% in the 2020 game. It would have been a 2-stop strategy, so a safety car coming out now can be very interesting. You know, you can box now, pretty much stretch with lines to the end, but I'm not sure if it's the same case in this year's game. Regardless, yeah, it will make things a lot more interesting. But it appears Max Chapman is P1. I didn't really notice that.
Yeah, so obviously potentially just before the safety car there, he's regained that position to P1, so he'll be doing the safety car restart. Charlie might get a dive on him on the inside. And yeah, Howling Crazy, this is on PC, buddy. But hopefully with the new game in the future, they'll be introducing cross-platform a few sort of months after the release of that. So it should be good to get some console players in this as well, potentially. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new game as well. Jay Robinson down into P11. I think he started to, what was it, P7, I believe. So yeah, but he's lost a few positions here. While it's under the safety car, let's go and have a quick look. Sorry, the game pauses. We'll go and have a little look at the positions gained and lost from the first 4 laps here. So pretty much for the top 3 remain. Quite a few of the drivers below top 3 unfortunately have moved up a position because of Josh O'Mara there. But Josh O'Mara up 7 places at the moment. Joel Foxall as well, I think he pitted down into P12. So yeah, I don't know if that was a good choice or not by Joel, but yeah, we'll see if the strategy of that plays out, as I think he's one of the only drivers to pit. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, Joel, I think is the only one to pit so far, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and but you have to take into account Callum McGrath, people pretty much not that far away from Max Chapman, but he can just drop a little bit back, and you know, when Max Chapman's even the pits, you can get inconvenient. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Inconvenienced.
Yes, that's the one.
Disrupted. Let's use that word. Disrupted by the Ferrari team. So yeah, all cards are on the table. Joel Foxall though down into P12 on lap 4.
Yeah, he's retaining that fastest lap, as we've heard from the Aston Martin garage that Zach Plant binned it into a wall of the Wall of Champions, so he was the first victim of this chicane. That I believe this is. Well, we'll go and have. Oh, I've just pressed buttons that I probably shouldn't have pressed. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know what button I pressed, but it's gone now. So yeah, I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, there's the Wall of Champions that the safety car is just going around now. So, you know, it might eat a few more drivers today, but again, it depends on how their driving is. As I think we're seeing the safety car going around once more, and then it'll be green again. But yeah, good to see the drivers back, all squashed up again for some more racing.
Yeah, of course, the restart will make things a little bit more exciting. You know, you can go once again, push it to the limit. And you never know, maybe Torben Shaw will get past Max Chapman again. I bet you that's definitely what Ferrari are hoping for. But yeah, Dylan Hartley still in P3, so definitely not a bad drive from him so far.
Yeah, I was just going to say as well, with Charlie, I don't know if you were here last week or you did watch any of the replays, but yeah, Charlie didn't have the best sort of Grand Prix at Baku. He had loads of issues with the car, and he just couldn't really seem to get it around the track. But yeah, it feels like Canada's definitely suiting his race style a little bit more today. And he's obviously on those medium tyres, whereas Max on those soft tyres. So Max will have to pit way before Charlie today.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error at Canada either. You know, if you put your wheels in the gravel or grass, then you're pretty much gone. So yeah, it's very calculated what drivers have to do here. And, you know, that suits some drivers, definitely not others. But yeah, it's just about how much you're willing to push yourself on Canada, in my opinion. You know, track limits are pretty tough, but if you manage to get every corner right every single lap, you're going to be gaining so much time. And the safety car will be in this lap as well, so let's get ready for a restart.
Let's do it. Let's go and home in on. We'll ride on board. My Stream Deck isn't working. Uh-oh, that means I can't use the HUD. Hang on a minute. Let me see why that's not working. Okay, well, we maybe can't do that today then. That's a shame.
You can see the drivers weaving all their tyres. Obviously, I think they conserved all of them, so it might be a one-stop for some of them. That safety car definitely helped out in conserving tyre life, but yeah, all the drivers now weaving aggressively on the back straight.
This looks dangerous.
But yeah, coming to the Wall of Champions, and I think that'll be a restart heading our way.
Yeah, there we go.
Kind of pulled, yeah. So he's gotten a little bit of a jump on Torben Shaw going into the Wall of Champions, and yeah, that's a massive gap already created by Max Chapman. A little bit like squiggly out the last corner, but yeah, Torben Shaw in pursuit, not going to be close enough to make a move. So that's going to be Max Chapman retaining P1. Yes,
exactly. Obviously, DRS doesn't engage either 2 or 3 laps after the safety car does come in. So Charlie won't have the benefit of DRS this lap or the next lap. But as long as he can obviously keep within that 1 second behind Max Chapman, he's got every opportunity to re-overtake. As we see Callum McGrath up to P3 there, making an overtake on Dylan after that restart, as Adam Forbes are creeping up into P5. So yeah, really good progress by a lot of the drivers, and hopefully there you go. We just seen Josh overtake there, 2 wide on the side by side, sorry, I should say, with Taylor Hume coming into this corner. He's got the advantage. It looks very wide there by Josh, but he made it stick. He didn't lose traction of the car, and yeah, there he is. He's up to P7 now.
Yeah, once you said McGrath up into P3, making it past Dylan Hartley. I think it was on the second or first corner. So yeah, very interesting indeed. Dylan has to now fight to get that position back. But yeah, Max Chapman already 2 seconds ahead. That's the, you know, pace difference between the mediums and the softs, and that's just showcased brilliantly, I think.
Yeah, it's quite a considerable pace difference here as we're seeing Jay Robinson pretty much watch both Williams and the Alpine in front of him have a little fighting battle. Just fastest laps after fastest laps here. Max Chapman still stealing that fastest lap there from Joel. 111s they're currently setting. They're setting 108s, 109s, so we might see those a little bit later on as Jay Robinson and Joel Foxall are fighting it here, wheel by wheel. As looks like Joel's got a little bit more pace there, and Jay might be wanting to fight back.
Yeah, Joel Foxall making use of his brand new tyres, moved up 2 positions, I believe, since the restart. But yeah, now Silver has made his way past Forbes, so he's up into the top 5. He's going to try and chase down Hartley and, you know, a few others on that medium tyre and try and just make his strategy stick.
Yeah, I still don't really know if it was soft or mediums obviously the best tyre to start on, Casper, I'll be honest. It's sort of too early to call, but we're seeing Josh here make another move on the other Williams there of Adam. Adam's not going to have anything. He's going to make it stick. However, unfortunately, I think he had to brake a little bit there to let Josh past. But yeah, Josh up to P6 already. Incredible drive by him, and yeah, he's not letting the obviously starting at the back of the grid let him down as he's coming down here. Williams and an Alpine right behind him. They're going to want to make an overtake on him, but I don't know if they've got enough momentum to do that.
Yeah, heading down into turn 1, once again another opportunity created. The Alpine might try and move down onto the Williams, but yeah, there he goes, down the inside. Very late braking, but he makes it stick. What a move.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible there by the Alpine. It's good to see Andre back again. Andre, he's sort of, you know, he's one of these drivers where he's here some weekends and he's not here on others. But yeah, he's a great racing driver when he can make it stick to the track. Blizzo, in answer to your question, it's all from race department. There's a guy on there that makes F1 TV overlays. So if you just go and have a little look, have a Google for race department, you should be able to see them all. They're all free. Anyone can download and use them. It uses SimHub.
Yeah, Joel Foxall moving now to the rear of Adam Forbes Williams. So he's going to try and make a move down into the hairpin. One of the last corners of the circuit. The Williams is going to go very defensive. But Joel Foxall down the inside, once again very late braking on that medium compound tyre. He leaves enough room on the left-hand side, but I think he can split them perfectly there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was almost like a picture-perfect overtake there by Joel Foxall. He knew what he was doing, and he executed it very well as they're all coming down here with DRS flap wide open into the wall of champions. That has only I don't think that's the right word. Retired one driver at the moment. But yeah, there you go. Joel Foxall up to P8. Obviously, Joel being one of the only drivers to have pitted as well. As we're seeing also Hartley here, very, very close to the Alpine of Silver. They're side by side as well, so we might see another move here, Casper.
Yeah, Callum McGrath making his way past Hartley. Now he's been compromised, and Williams is going to have a little look, but he looks to stay ahead now, heading into turn number 4. So he's going to stay ahead into the chicane. But the Alpine goes down the inside, which is not enough momentum there. A little bit of contact that opens up the space for Josh O'Meara. It goes down the inside, and the Alpine is just very, very unstable coming out that corner.
Yeah, it was unfortunate there for Andre. He did lose it. He lost a little bit of traction there, as we see Josh O'Meara up to P5 right now. Starting potentially to make a move on Dylan there, but the Alpine of Silver, he's having absolutely none of that. He's taking the wide angle though, which might give him a little bit of a better exit out of here. But yeah, all the drivers are really, really close to each other, and yeah, Max Chapman now almost a 4-second lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, the move by Josh for utilising battle of the other drivers and just using his advantage to that. But yeah, now just heading into the slipstream. It's going to be side by side with the two constructor contenders, and there's a lot of contact between Joel Foxall and Josh O'Meara, forcing each other off the track, and I think that might be damaged one of them at least, surely.
Potentially, yeah. The fight's not over though. They definitely want to get as many positions as they can. That is Joel Foxall who's just lost it around there. He's lost the rear. He's just dropped 2 or 3 positions, unfortunately. I don't think there was any contact made. But yeah, potentially those tyres may have not been warm enough. I'm not even too sure. But yeah, he did lose it around there. And he also obviously lost a position there. Jay Robinson cooked that one up? No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
A lot of contact, to be honest, on my side.
Yeah,
between Joel Foxall and Josh O'Meara, just getting a little bit too brave on the brakes, and he's getting penalised for it. But yeah, Josh O'Meara up into P5, but the Ferrari of Joel Foxall, he needs to start gaining those positions back. That's a huge deficit to him, and you know, losing that many positions once you're fighting for a driver championship is not good.
Yeah, exactly. This is playing into Max's favour, as yeah, there probably was contact made, to be honest. I just didn't see it. I was obviously looking elsewhere. But yeah, Joel, there you go. There's more contact even between these two drivers, as Joel's had to go on the grass there, but he's easily got that position there for Jay Robinson, and now he's going to be with the DRS open, chasing down Adam Forbes in P7, who is also potentially looking at making a move on the Alpine.
Yeah, Joe Fox now has to regain all those positions. He needs to make a massive comeback to have any chance of fighting here. But yeah, Torben Schurt still trying to chase down Max, but approximately a 3-second gap. So Van Dream is slowly fading away. Maybe we'll see that a little bit. Sorry, we'll see that gap close a little bit more once the medium tire starts to kick in and the degradation of the soft gets too high. But at the moment, he's just cruising to victory.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we don't really quite understand sort of how long these softs can go on for. Obviously, we have it at the safety car, so, you know, they might be strategy plus a few more laps here. But yeah, obviously, you know, Max Chapman, you know, lap 12 of the soft tyres. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to go on at least for a 3 or 4 more. Or there might be, you know, something, one of the Ferraris may have go in and might trigger him to pit early. But yeah, I'm not too sure. He's obviously, you know, he's got the time advantage at the moment.
Yeah, I'd put Silver on McGrath now because he's going to have DRS down the back straight. So battle for P3 coming up to the DRS line, and I think that's going to be wide and open for the Alpine. Ferrari's not going to have any of it. They go too wide once again into the wall of champions, the last 2 corners of the track, and he makes the move stick, clears them fully, and a lot of contact between the two, and that's Alan McGrath into the pits. I don't know if he meant to do that.
I'm not too sure if that was a forced pit stop or not, but yeah, Callum is the first one in the pits, whether or not that was planned or not, but he's going to be putting on the mediums here. A very quick pit stop there, 2.6 seconds, but yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. It was kind of, yeah, maybe it was a last second decision there, but his pit crew done a good job to run out of those pits.
Yeah, at the moment Ferrari can see the victory and, you know, contention for the championship slipping in between their fingers, just mistakes after mistakes, unfortunately. But there's a lot of contact between Josh Romero there, Andre Abreu.
Yeah, he's all over him.
Absolutely, and he's going to have DRS now. Josh Romero's not going to have any of it. Heading into the chicane, very tight between the two drivers, no room. And Andre Abreu is forced to go off the track and he's run off.
Yeah, and that's just cost Andre another position there. Joel just sneaking his way through. Joel back up to P5 there. Again, all these drivers changing positions so quickly around here. With Callum McGrath down into P12 now, however he has pitted. So yeah, currently as it stands, obviously Joel Foxall the only driver in the top pretty much 5 to have pitted. Josh Romero back up to P4, but also swapping positions there with Joel, moving it down to P5. I don't know. We need to get rid of that fastest lap. I don't know why it is, but yeah, Josh Romero here coming into the pits. Lap 13 for him. And yeah, he's pitting on the mediums as well. So soft medium seems to be the strategy for most drivers. Whether or not they pit again, I guess, depends on safety car and things like that.
I must say, this is playing very nicely into Joel's hands. Top 4, and he's the only one that has split between all these drivers. So he's going to have a massive strategic advantage. If another safety car comes out, I have no doubt that he'll be the winner. Even with a spin, he's recovered it pretty nicely. And the gap is just, you know, going to be insane just because he pitted early.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how long it takes for a pit stop, maybe 20, 21 seconds or so, but there's not 21 seconds between Joel and Max Chapman. So when Max pits, you know, is Joel gonna sort of overtake him through the pit stop, and then I don't know what could happen, to be honest with you. Or is Max just going to go out as far as he can? Obviously, with his teammate Josh pitting, be interesting to see if Max Chapman does pit this lap or if he's going to continue going round.
Yeah, Max Chapman, the only driver out of the top 2 teams not to pit, and there he goes, like you called it, goes into the pit stop. We'll see, it'll be very close between Joel Foxall and Max Chapman.
We're going to keep an eye on both of the drivers. Obviously, Max Chapman there going to the pits. Hopefully a quick pit stop there. No need for any sort of front wing or anything. Just a change of tyres. 2.6 seconds. And we'll go on board now with Joel Foxall, who's coming down the straight. He's going to overtake Max Chapman. And Max is going to have to regain this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful strategy from the Ferrari team. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I don't know what to say there. It's played wonderfully into their hands. Now Max Chapman has to make that all the way up. But you do have to remember, he is on fresher rubber now. He does have a lot more pace. You know, Joel Foxall's tyres are, what, 11 laps old now? So he's going to be struggling a little bit more. But yeah, Max Chapman, probably the fastest man on track as it currently stands.
Yeah, a question from Casper as well. Will Joel have to pit again? I would say he will. I don't think those mediums will last him another 20 laps.
Yeah, of course. I don't think so either. And also the other Ferrari of Callum McGrath, I'm pretty sure he's on mediums 2 times. So, you know, there is that compulsory tyre compound change. So, yeah, the Ferraris will have to probably make another stop. So, it all depends how this plays out for the next few laps, if there's a safety car or not. But as it currently stands, Joel Fox was in a brilliant position.
Absolutely. He needs to get past this Alpine, though, as quick as he can, so he doesn't get too slowed down. Obviously, he's got Max Chapman and Andre, both the Alpines right behind him. You can see Max Chapman there in the distance behind Joel Foxall. But yeah, Joel's made that move stick, and that is Joel up to P2, with Charlie currently in P1. And yeah, we've got obviously Dylan Hartley down a few positions there, down to P7. As it looks like, yeah, they've all pitted as well. So I think that's all the drivers to have at least made one pit stop, as we've got Harper down in P14, who's just exited the pits on fresh soft tyres.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate for Dylan Hartley. I feel really sorry for him. He's in a really great position heading into this weekend, but he dropped back 4 positions already. But yeah, nevertheless, I think we just saw Andre Abreu pull a brilliant move on Josh O'Mara. They're very tight and very quick between the walls of Canada.
Yeah, Andre again. He's a skilled driver if he can put his mind to it. And we're seeing Josh trying to fight this one back here, side by side. He's managed to make it move and absolutely dived it in front of Andre. Very risky, but very rewarding as well.
Yes.
And that was on Max Chapman, sorry, not Josh.
Oh yeah, that was Max Chapman. Yeah, lots of confidence from Max, just turning that steering wheel in and just absolutely cutting Abreu off. But I mean, it's worked in his favor. Abreu's gonna have DRS, but I don't think he's close enough to make any move here. Yeah,
but more importantly, look at that. Charlie, sorry, yeah, I must say as well, Charlie has not pitted yet, I do not believe, and he's currently 10 seconds in front of Joel Foxall. See, again, I can't really call who's going to win this Grand Prix currently. It is a real absolute mixed bag. Silver up to P3 in the Alpine as well. That's really good, a good pace by Silver there. With Max Chapman closely within almost a second, or within easily a second behind him. So we'll ride on board with Max Chapman, and we're going to have a look here if he can make an overtake here at some point around this track.
Yeah, one of the freshest tyres on the tracks belongs to Max Chapman, sorry. So yeah, he's going to have a massive pace advantage heading onto this Alpine. A lot of contact, I think, there with his front wing, but heading into a DRS zone. It's going to be DRS for Max Chapman, wide and open. He's going to be heading into the chicane, giving a massive squeeze there from the Alpine, but it looks like he's just made it stick, absolutely flung past using that DRS.
Oh, yes, and I'm not sure if that's put Silver off, though, but that is Silver currently in the wrong, lovely cameraman. But yeah, that's Silver who's just spun round and been overtaken by quite a few drivers there, and he's just driving back on the track. That's caused the yellow flag, but hopefully he can get that car back up and running again. I'm not too sure, obviously, what's going on with the car, but yeah, it looks like he is racing again there.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Not sure what happened. Maybe a bit of debris on the track. I don't know. I think he just got put by Max Chapman, to be honest. But yeah, Max Chapman already on the back of Joel Foxall. Joel Foxall had, I think, maybe a 4-second lead when he came out of the pits. That's down to about 1. So yeah, it's going to get interesting between the title contenders. Obviously, I think on equal points, if I'm not wrong, heading into this weekend and halfway through the championship already.
It certainly is. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to get rid of that fastest lap because it's constantly there and it is annoying me just as much as it is for the chat. There we go. That's better. But yeah, hopefully we'll see Max Chapman potentially make a move here on Joel, or if Joel can, Joel's a very defensive driver. So we this might go on for a few more laps yet. I don't think Joel will give away this position that easily.
Yeah, Max Chapman can also play the strategical game. He's got the freshest tyres out of these two. He can stay back, keep it a bit longer. But I think he might want to try and just get past using DRS and try and make the gap as big as he can, because the more he can extend his lead, the better it is for him if a safety car comes out.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, all the time Joel's fighting, his tyres are, they're going to be slowly degrading even more than they currently are. But yeah, here we see Max Chapman down the inside. Easy overtake there on the DRS straight. Don't think Joel will be able to fight this one back through the wall of champions. But yeah, straight over they go. As close to that wall, almost kissing it. But yeah, that's Max Chapman into P2. Now going to be chasing down those valuable seconds for Charlie. But Charlie still has not pitted yet.
Yeah, Joel Foxall wants to stay in that DRS range, stick as close as he can to Max Chapman. If you let him run away, there's no way you can catch him. You've got older tyres. There's just pretty much nothing he can do compared to Max. But yeah, here we go. Callum McGrath sending a move on Dylan Hartley. Very close between the drivers, leaving absolutely no space, no margin for error. And that's Callum McGrath heading into turn 4 ahead of Dylan Hartley.
Sorry, these camera angles are shocking today. But yeah, there you go. Easy overtake there by Callum. I say easy. I mean, Dylan definitely were defensive over that one. Yeah, Callum McGrath up to P5. With Andre splitting both of those Ferraris, and yeah, Joel Foxall now almost 2 seconds behind Max Chapman, so that those tyres are definitely degrading. So yeah, they will be hoping for a safety car, I think, they're Ferraris.
Yeah, absolutely, making pretty much, I think, really early pit stops, both of them. But so far, I think it's played into their hands, made up a few positions off their starting grid. So not too bad, but yeah, Dylan Hartley, he's going to be angry with that. He's going to try and make a move down on the main DRS straight again.
Yeah, certainly so. We'll see the DRS flap there instantly open of Dylan Hartley. Can he get enough speed here to make the overtake, or is there not enough room on the track? He's going to go on the outside here. Bit of desync, even more desync. But yeah, he's got enough speed. Almost a not collision. I don't know what the word is. But yeah, he's not giving this one up easily. And oh my gosh.
A lot of touching heading into turn 1 between Dylan Hartley and Callum McGrath, cutting it very close there, turning in, I would say, into Dylan Hartley, so he's not going to appreciate that. He's just going to try and get past him even more, but we did see that ERS light of Callum flashing on heading down the main straight, so Dylan has a lot more battery to use, a lot more, you know, battery at his disposal, so it's going to be a lot easier to pass on the main straights. So I think that's what we're going to see from Dylan.
Yeah, so Callum's got 25% ERS. He's currently using it, and Dylan's sitting on a very comfortable 46%. I was speaking with Max Chapman as well just before the race, and I was told that it's quite difficult to regain ERS around here. So yeah, Dylan's obviously keeping a lot more, but Callum, you know, under 30% ERS, only, you know, lap 20 of 35, just gone over halfway of the Grand Prix, and yeah, already down sort of through 20% ERS. That's not great for Callum. That's not going to help him on sort of the later stages of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very hard to regain ERS around here. You can imagine all the high-speed chicanes and corners. Really, the only opportunity is either if you make a pit stop, you can regain a lot of ERS. Oh, but Callum McGrath sending it down the inside. That's a very ballsy move, and I don't think it's going to work out well for him.
No, Dylan obviously had to take the exit road there. But he's gonna fight this one back, as he's pulled in front of Callum there. 15 laps to go of the Grand Prix, and yeah, these two are still fighting it out. With obviously, yeah, looking at further at the back of the group, we've got Jay Robertson down into P13. He's not having the best day, and neither is Silva, obviously, with that spin. But yeah, Harp obviously might be blue flagged momentarily as well.
Yeah, after this Grand Prix, I think we could call Torben shut for Sergio Perez of F1. Still yet to make a pit stop, and yeah, he's gonna box for soft tires presumably very shortly. He's gonna have the fastest compound on the track, and also the freshest tire on the track. So it's gonna be very interesting to see when he pits. So far, he's been doing a brilliant job, and he looks like he's staying out for a few more laps at this rate.
Yeah, and just going back as well to that Dylan Callum incident, that was very quick reactions there by Dylan, and a very good decision by him. But yeah, Charlie, 22 laps on these mediums. I mean, if he can carry on going on them, all credit to him. But you know, the longer he goes, you know, if he's still setting quick lap times, then there's no need for him to pit until, obviously, if there is a racing incident, virtual safety car or safety car. But yeah, I mean, if he does pit now, well, that'll put him potentially sort of down to P5, P6 maybe. But yeah, really, obviously, you know, all these drivers in the sort of middle of the pack, they're still really close to each other, still going to be fighting it out. Obviously, we're seeing Dylan and Callum here having that fight, and obviously, you know, out of nowhere, Josh O'Mara's crept up a little bit. So yeah, Josh might be making some more overtakes on these two guys in a moment.
Yeah, I can tell you definitely if the safety car comes out, Torben Schutt probably in one of the best positions on the track. It's very interesting if the drivers will box or not, because there's not many laps left, and you know, if you play it back, can send you all the way down the grid. So it's very interesting, you know, what the drivers do sometimes on the safety car. But yeah, like you said, brilliant performance from Josh O'Mara so far. He's going to continue to try chasing down the Mercedes of Dylan Hartley, and yeah, Callum McGrath. I have no idea how he just got back past, but yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Dylan, obviously, I don't know, again, DRS detection point. Did Dylan slow down to get the DRS down the straight just as a little bit of fun? It does look that way, as obviously DRS opens there for the Mercedes, and he's going to make a move here, potentially on the Wall of Champions. Here we go, round 2.
Yeah, very, very aggressive from Callum, once again, cutting that second corner of the chicane, not allowing Dylan to pretty much make a move, but round the outside he goes down into turn 1, DRS advantage. The Ferrari ERS is flashing. He's pretty much ahead, heading into turn 2, lots of touching. He has the inside line, but still side by side, heading down into turn 3. It's going to be very close between these two drivers, no margin for error. Callum taking it around the outside, and that's a Sebastian Vettel cutting the grass, and just marginally behind.
Yeah, but look at Josh. Josh has crept up because of all of that collisions and things like that. So yeah, absolutely incredible there for Josh to keep up those speed, as he's now making a move potentially on Callum here. We're getting some absolutely awful camera angles for TV Pod here, but yeah, all three of these drivers still fighting out for P5, P6, and P7.
Yeah, absolutely incredible racing. A lot of contact, but I think that's fair racing. Just very, very hard, very competitive between all these drivers. Every point matters. But yeah, like you said, Josh Romero just now on the back of the Ferrari DRS. He's going to have a lot of energy to use as well, I'm assuming, because it doesn't look like he spent a lot. But yeah, Callum's now is the only
Mm.
one that's flashing. So you can definitely
Yep.
expect Red Bull to start making moves very, very soon.
Yeah, there you go. That is I believe that's Dylan Hartley there diving into the pits. Potentially the last pit stop for him. Josh Romero also noting that, oh yeah, Callum's only on 8% ERS as well. That's not going to be good for him with Josh. As we see, sorry, Dylan Hartley there. A very slow pit stop. He's obviously got front wing damage there from Callum. So that's a 7.7 second pit stop for Dylan. That's not what he wants. It's not what he would have wanted.
And it's very unfortunate as well. You know, contact of the Ferrari. Yeah, that is very, very depressing. Started P3.
Mm.
Now on the bottom ladder, pretty much of receiving points. Just 1 point now awarded. So, yeah, very unfortunate. But he has put the medium zone, interestingly. I thought he might have opted for a soft.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess. But yeah, we're seeing Callum still weaving all over the place. As yeah, he's on very low ERS here. Callum's going to defend with his life for this position with Josh. And yeah, we'll see. Oh, Josh just giving Callum a little nudge there to basically hurry up. I'm here, you know, kind of, that kind of thing. As Charlie has decided to finally pit for soft tyres, 2.5 seconds there. We'll see where he comes out of the pits as Max Chapman there, blue flagged with the Aston Martin of Ryan. Good to see Ryan as well, still in the race. No hate or anything, but it's good to see Ryan making it 25 laps around the Grand Prix. As it looks like Callum has retired from the session.
Yeah, Josh Romero has gotten past. I'm not sure what happened past that point. Maybe a little bit ambitious, but look at this. The Williams, that's going to play into their hands brilliantly. Both of them just pitting.
It's a full safety car now. And again, I don't know quite what happened with Callum. If there was contact, obviously, with Josh, we did sort of change cameras there. But that is a second full safety car here. Playing very, very nicely into the Williams' hands. But yeah, Joe Vauxhall P2. Again, Charlie, if he waited that extra lap, I feel like he was waiting for a safety car and he pitted a lap too early. So yeah, Charlie's going to be absolutely gutted with that one. But yeah, Josh Romero up to P4 there. And it's unfortunate. I would have loved to hear what happened with Callum after the race there. Unfortunately, we didn't capture it on camera.
Tell you what, I'm going all in on Charlie regardless. You know, Tobin shut in P3 on the freshest tyre, but Max Chapman does dive into
Yeah,
the
I
pits.
don't blame him on this one whatsoever. It'd be interesting to see if Joel does the same or if he stays out here on the pit stop. But yeah, Max Chapman there. Very quick lap, pit stop, fresh soft tyres as well for the last 10 laps of the Grand Prix. And yeah, Joel Foxall also diving into the pits here. We'll have a look at if he also gets the similar time, which it should be, or even quicker.
Yeah, Torben Shutt jumps Joel Foxall, but it is the two title contenders that have jumped into the pits, and I think they are going to re-emerge P1, P2, and P3. So yeah, very interesting. You know, Torben Shutt in P2, pretty much the order that we expected qualifying to go. But yeah, I think this is going to be a...
It's changed it up nicely.
Yeah, 9-lap sprint maybe to the end, so it's going to get very interesting. Obviously, all the drivers on brand new tyres. I genuinely cannot wait for this.
Oh, I love it when, I mean, as much as the drivers probably, you know, some drivers like the safety car, some don't, but for us commentators here, it's amazing to see a safety car because all the drivers bunch back up again and the action just gets started, even though it was still crazy for the first 25 laps of this. But yeah, looking at positions gained and lost, obviously McGrath and Zach, unfortunately, the retirees of this Grand Prix. Ryan Harper's going to be happy with this safety car because I think that he will be able to overtake and sort of unlap himself essentially with a few of the front runners. But yeah, Andre Bray up 8 positions, Josh Romero up 10. Absolutely incredible drive by Josh there. And again, Dylan, medium tyres, middle of the pack. Most of those drivers around him are on fresh soft, so he's not gonna be happy with that.
Yeah, of course, definitely not. But here's the thing: the top 2, Max Chapman, obviously the current driver championship leader, if I'm not wrong. So he's going to be hungry to extend his lead. But I think the driver behind him, Torben Shutt, is going to be even hungrier. You know, wants to get that maiden win for McLaren and for himself in season 2.5. A very solid driver, kept it very nicely. You know, very clean, very nice for the whole Grand Prix, pretty much leading. I would say a good 50% of it on those tyres. So yeah, definitely Sergio Perez tyre management techniques there. But yeah, I still think that Charlie's going to come out as a leader here.
Yeah, again, certain drivers prefer certain tyres around here. Some drivers, you know, prefer mediums, taking all these corners. Some drivers prefer softs, but yeah, Dylan there, he wasn't happy with those mediums. He's gone out fresh soft tyres. I believe that puts him on. Yeah, that'll be P8 there for Dylan on his exit. But yeah, most of the drivers now fresh soft tyres. Obviously Charlie, he's you know, he's got fresh soft tyres, but I think they're a lap or two even more than Max Chapman. And unfortunately, it looks like Jay's unfortunately in the middle of the pack. He's unable to unlap himself here, which is why we're seeing both of the McLarens parading around P2 and P3. But yeah, unfortunate there for Jay. He's not going to be happy with that decision by the race control.
Yeah, the pitch, Joel Foxall is somehow down in P4. Looks like he got jumped by a Prix somehow. Not quite sure under how that happened on the safety car.
We know how this game goes sometimes. It's it asks you to overtake and then give positions back and all kinds of things. That might be that. A message from race control as well. The incident between Dylan and Callum is not being investigated. I'm not sure if that is the one with Callum's DNF or if that was the one through the Wall of Champions, but it's one of the two.
I believe that was the Wall of Champions, yeah, but safety car, I don't think it's coming in this lap, yeah. Doesn't look like it. So it's going to be maybe like a 7-lap sprint to the end.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome.
Pretty much every single driver here, you know, a few laps ago, everybody was on mediums, now everybody's on fresh soft, you know, with only 7 laps to go. So now it's just purely based on driver pace, you know, how you overtake and how you can bait your opponent into making mistakes. So yeah, very interesting, I must say. I can't wait for the safety car to come in. I think it's going to be this lap.
Yeah, certainly so. This will be the last lap. The safety car goes round, giving the drivers approximately 6 laps to, yeah, pretty much sprint till the end, till the finish line. And yeah, Hassan, you are correct. Sorry, it was Callum and Josh where the incident happened. Although I don't know if it involved Josh or not, but we'll find out after the race. But yeah, this is going to be very exciting. Especially for the drivers. But Jay Robinson, he's going to be crept up a little bit here. You know, he's going to be instantly blue flagged on the safety car restart. So he's going to have to pull to one side, I think, and let quite a few drivers past, which he's not going to be happy with. But hey, rules are rules, I guess.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens with Andre Abreu, you know, with that overtake.
Yeah.
Joel Fox was definitely not going to be happy with that. He's going to be eager to get past, and that just destroys his chance of making a move on Torben Shirt and, you know, Max Chapman. So detrimental to the championship. You know, I just can't see how he got past.
Yeah. Again, it could all change as we're the safety car. We haven't had any message from race control, so I don't know if it's going around again. No, it does look like it's jetting off here. So yeah, this will be a safety car restart. Let me go ahead and get rid of that HUD there, and we'll go and ride on board with Charlie. Should we go with Charlie? I think Charlie will be a good one to ride on board with, and we'll see if he gets a good exit here as Max Chapman has the safety car restart under his control.
Yeah, both drivers weaving very aggressively, trying to get the temperatures into the tyres. We saw Max Chapman pull away with the safety car, I believe, last time. Let's see if he manages to do it again. Still aggressively weaving.
There he goes.
Up he shoots. Torben Schutt is going to be going in pursuit. Wall of Champions here. The chicane, you know, the deadly chicane. But once again, he's gotten away with it. The gap is just far too big. There's no way he can close that in time.
No, certainly not. As yeah, I mean, very good pull away there by Max Chapman. Just looking up a little bit, there's Jay Foxall, obviously. Jay Foxall. Gosh, I can't get my names together today. Jay Robinson there slowing down because of the blue flags. But yeah, obviously the Haas as well of Widdowson. Good to see Matthew back in the grid. He's kind of been, I'm not sure where he's been actually, but he's up to P6 now. Yeah, all these drivers obviously on fresh soft tyres, and they're going to be absolutely going for it as those brakes of Charlie's F1 car are very, very hot at the moment.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Torben. I think he had a very poor restart. You know, Max Chapman got away with it, but yeah, Josh Romero down into P5. You know, he can make a few more moves. He can definitely make the Constructor Championship move a little bit further towards Red Bull's favour if it isn't already. But yeah, with McGrath out as well, you know, huge points lost for Ferrari and their dream of recovering for the Constructors. Yeah,
this is going to obviously hugely benefit Red Bull if Josh Romero can obviously steal some really decent points for Red Bull as well as Max Chapman. Obviously, Max Chapman's not going to give up that podium position easily, as we see there's quite already a 2-second gap between the two front runners. So yeah, Max done a really good to pull away there on those fresh soft tyres. Look how close those cars get to the wall. It's almost scary. It's crazy. As that we're seeing Taylor Hume there make a change there on Dylan Hartley up to P6. We'll see if Dylan's going to fight that one back.
Yeah, Joel Foxall only 4 tenths behind the Alpine of Andre Abreu. He must be saying, just get out of the way, let us race. You know, this is for the
Hmm.
championship. It's absolutely detrimental, and you know, it must be killing Joel inside. There's no way it isn't.
Absolutely no way. But yeah, sorry, Joel Foxall here. Absolutely speeding on by. Trying to get as many tenths of a second he can closer to the rear of that Alpine of Andre Abreu, who's only half a second behind Charlie. So yeah, this could be a DRS train here, which isn't going to help Joel get the position on Andre.
Yeah, 5 laps to go of this Grand Prix. I think, yeah, people in P2, P3, P4 are very close together, and P5 now, and Josh as well, within that 1 second. Everybody pretty much very close to bunched up, but yeah, I think Max Chapman, once again, he's just going to
Pulling
get away
away.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just running with it completely. It's his race, pretty much under control the entire time, except for the fact when Torben Schutt stayed out for a long period of time. But yeah, 5 laps to go now as we cross the finish line, and yeah, Max Chapman is, I just can't see how he loses this, to be honest.
No, I'm not sure whether the timing's now saying 1.2 seconds, but I think, yeah, the leaderboard's just having a bit of a mare. But yeah, I mean, great drive by all the drivers, to be honest with you. Again, Robinson there, a minute behind the rest of the pack, along with Ryan Harper. Both, unfortunately, weren't able to relap themselves with the safety car. So they're, unfortunately, going to be sitting with P12 and P13 for the end of the Grand Prix. But yeah, we will be seeing some more overtakes here, as some of the drivers potentially might make a few mistakes, which, again, cost positions here. So, yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. I think the table, the leaderboard's mixed up a little bit in terms of driver order. And, you know, there's some definitely people in places where I wouldn't expect them to be. So yeah, brilliant racing. But DRS, I believe, is now going to be enabled this lap. So yeah,
Yep,
that
there we
does
go.
confirm it with the Alpine. Already the ERS light flashing. Joel Foxall pulls down into the inside. We're going to be going side by side as we pursue Torben Schutt. Joel Foxall is going to be well clear of the Alpine, and now he's in pursuit of the McLaren.
Yeah, but also in pursuit of Joel is Andre. He's going to want to fight that one back. And just to confirm, Casper, is that damage for Max or no damage for Max? I'm not sure. But yeah, there you go. Dylan just completely out taking a Williams, but the Williams is fighting back. You don't want the Williams here to lose 2 positions. As oh, there we go. Taylor Hume's just unfortunately. Oh, sorry, that was Adam Forbes there losing it. And unfortunately spinning. He's just lost a few positions there. Unfortunate for Adam. He is down into P8 now. Was that?
Yeah,
No, sorry, that was the Alpine, not the Williams. I think they're both blue, aren't they?
I'm not sure, but yeah, a brilliant move by Dylan Hartley regardless. But yeah, definitely heartbreak for the Williams and Alpine. I think it was the Williams that spun, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, definitely very unfortunate. But yeah, once again, the top.
Look at that.
Look at that. Pretty much DRS train.
That is
you know,
awesome.
Torben Schutt, the only one without DRS with like 3-4 laps to go. So Joel Foxall, wide open. He has to try and go for this. He has to try and you know, come P2 in this race if he wants to keep the
Yeah, he's only
on.
got another 3 opportunities to do this, as it's confirmed Max Chapman does have damage. I don't know if it's front wing, side pod, or obviously underfloor, but yeah, Max Chapman with damage there. Doesn't seem to be affecting him too much, but hopefully it doesn't get any worse, as Joel Foxall is very, very close to the rear of that McLaren in front of him, of Charlie.
Yeah, he's very eager to get past. You can see sending dummy moves, just sending a message, I'm going to get past you regardless. He's just, you know, waiting for the right opportunity. He's still in pursuit of that McLaren, still the only person in this DRS train without any DRS. So it's very interesting how he's managing to keep ahead for so long. But yeah, Joel Foxall was just on the back of that McLaren.
Absolutely, yeah. Andre making a few little... Oh, there we go. So yeah, making a few little mistakes there behind, which cost him a few tenths of a second, but he's still very much in pursuit of Joel and Charlie. Again, we can't even call the podium at the moment. I've got no idea who's going to be on it. All of this time, these guys are fighting. Obviously, Josh Amara's coming out of nowhere. He's slowly gaining that 2-second gap, but you know, 2 laps left. Do you reckon he can do that as Joel Foxall goes down the inside of Charlie, taking up P2? Yeah, very great move there by Joel Foxall as Charlie moves down to P3.
Yeah, absolutely incredible racing. But look at that, Max Chapman. He's lost so much time, absolutely heaps of time. Joel Foxall now is going to get that motivation back. He's going to try and push as hard as he can in the last 2 closing laps of this Grand Prix, trying to chase down that Red Bull and extend his championship lead.
Yeah, you can obviously see the Red Bull there in front of Joel Foxall, just disappearing into the distance as Joel's now in pursuit of it. Max Chapman confirmed front wing damage, but yeah, Max Chapman only what 1.5 laps left to go. Can he obviously, you know, keep that rhythm going, obviously without making any more mistakes? As you know, Joel, I don't think he's got the worry of Charlie behind him, but Charlie's got the worry. There you go. Great camera angle of Andre chasing down Charlie behind him. But yeah, it's all to play for here for P1, P2, and P3. I've got no idea who's gonna be on the podium.
Yeah, we're coming around to the final lap, and Joel Foxall is just praying with these guys. Please don't fight me. Please don't overtake me. He wants every shot he can at getting this win, but I think it might just be slipping through his hands. Depends on the severity. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what has happened there. It does look like Jay has, yeah. But once again, no fighting between Joel Foxall. That's great news for him.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, so there's 2.5 seconds gap between Joel Foxall and Max Chapman. This is the final lap. Oh, is it? Oh, hello. That's Charlie's just gone round. Oh, no. Charlie's just lost a bit of his front wing and gone round off the track into the pit exit there. And that is Charlie, unfortunately, losing it down to P6, losing all those positions as Josh O'Mara's coming out of nowhere up to P3. As Charlie, there you go, going past the Alpine in the Williams. See, it's all to play for here. We've got absolutely no idea as Dylan's going to be trying to fight Josh as much as he can there for that P3. But yeah, Josh started at the back of the grid today, and he's up to P3. What a drive.
Absolute drama at the last stages of the race, last lap of the race, and it's just going to be full of drama as Josh almost loses it. Absolutely incredible racing, but yeah, Andre Abreu and Torben Schutt are just out of it. They were P3 and P4. That's no longer the case.
Oh, is it Alpine's just retired as well here? As much as I mean, we'll have to watch Max Chapman obviously cross the line, but Dylan might be making a move here on Josh O'Mara down the final straight of the DRS. This will be his last chance, but we will have to go on board here with Max Chapman. Considering he's got front wing damage, he does indeed cross the line, very closely followed by Joel Foxall right behind him. As we're seeing Dylan Hartley there in P3. Who's overtaken Josh to seal that P3 there behind Josh O'Mara. Unfortunately, commiserations to Josh there, fighting all that he could for P4. Joel Foxall P2 there. Very great drive for all of those as we're seeing both the Williams, P5 and P6, absolutely great weekend for them. And Charlie, unfortunately, down there in P7.
Absolute scenes of the last lap of the Canadian Grand Prix. So much drama and so much strategy has led down to this contact between Andre Abreu and then Torben Schutt. They were in P3 and P4, now they're down in P7 and P8. Absolute heartbreak. They fought for it all and they lost it all. It was all or nothing, and they just decided to pick nothing there. So that's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, all in all though, absolutely great drive there by all the drivers. As we're seeing Ryan Harbour here, he's actually completing a Grand Prix, Casper. I am very proud of this Aston Martin driver here today.
Yeah, as long as you don't DNF, you can definitely make up a few places, and it's 4 in this case. I think we had two DNFs on the last lap as well. So yeah, it's just I don't know what we've just witnessed, to be honest. Absolutely crazy at Canada.
You could not call it, honestly. Canada's an absolutely amazing track for not only overtaking, but for all the drivers. Obviously, pit stop strategies, 2 safety cars today, and yeah, that brings you your top 11. Unfortunately, Ryan there missing out on points, but we're seeing Max celebrating here with his podium victory, with Joel Foxall in P2 and Dylan Hartley very closely getting that P3 there from Josh.
Yeah, Max Chapman once again on the top step of that podium, extending his championship lead by a race win and the fastest lap, so 26 points added onto the tally. Joel Foxall almost had that. He closed the gap down to 1 second, but it just wasn't enough today. But yeah, glad to see the drivers on the podium, and Dylan Hartley, brilliant recovery drive all the way up into P3. So yeah, absolute fantastic scenes here, I think, at Canada.
Yeah, GG's in the chat, everybody. That was a good. Honestly, every race just seems to be getting better and better, Casper. I absolutely loved that one. You couldn't call who's was in what positions today. But my drive of the day definitely goes to Josh O'Mara. You know, unfortunately, starting from the back because of a human error. I don't know. It probably was my fault, but it wasn't obviously intentional. But yeah, great drive by him to get back up to P4 there. And yeah, I mean, everyone done really well there. Andre, obviously, P8 there. He probably stood a chance of podium. But obviously, you know, little mistakes can cost you big points in Formula 1.
Yeah, Max Chapman, 8 points, I think it will be now, ahead of Joel Foxall. So yeah, very spicy heading into round 5 now of the Kenco F1 season 2.5 series. So yeah, absolutely brilliant race. I think nobody could have predicted the outcome today. I genuinely cannot believe what happened.
No, obviously with the real-life Miami Grand Prix starting in about 23 minutes, we'll probably maybe get 1 or 2 driver interviews if we can, just before that Grand Prix starts in real life. Obviously, you know, it's 8:30 race start, so we'll be quite quick with the interviews, but it'll be good to hear from the drivers' perspectives if we've got a few minutes. just to see their say on their take of the Grand Prix, if that's okay. As it looks like Casper has just gone down to grab a driver. But yeah, guys, by the way, PMDG releasing tomorrow. I will be live. Hell yeah. Or tomorrow, it'll be Tuesday, potentially Tuesday. I don't know. As we're joined here by Charlie. Charlie.
Hello.
Oh, man. Honestly, absolutely incredible drive up to the last few laps. What happened?
Yeah, Andre, I think he broke too late. He just completely, ran into the back of me. So yeah, I haven't seen his onboard yet, but of course mistakes can happen. It's just, at the moment, it's just really frustrating, of course, as you can imagine, for me to be basically P1 or P2 the whole race, and then the last lap, you just, spin out to no fault of your own. But yeah, these things can happen, of course.
Yeah, regardless of that, I think that was an incredible drive. Yeah, just leading up to that last lap. But yeah, definitely a drive you can be proud of. Just very, very unfortunate on the last lap. But
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah, I think it can only go higher from here. So yeah, brilliant drive today.
Thank you.
Right, I'll try and grab us one more interview.
Yeah, go for it. No worries. Yeah, I don't know if I'll stay alive to watch the Grand Prix. I don't know how it'll work, but yeah. By the way, the Williams has asked for interviews. Casper will have to also get the Williams guys in here if that's all right, because they had a great race too.
Yeah, I'll try and grab Dylan as well at some point.
Yeah,
But,
go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, we're joined by
Callum.
Callum.
Hello.
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 Oh, my neck's a bit sore.
Your head's a bit sore.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I hit wall of champions, that's why. Does that make me a champion? Am I chinky?
I mean, it could do. I don't see why not. But yeah, I mean,
Thanks, guys. I'll be taking the trophy now. Ferrari constructors and drivers championships.
the champion of Canada, the champion of Canada.
Right, okay.
You can write your name on the wall.
My legacy will live there forevermore. Yeah?
Exactly.
Right.
But yeah, great drive, honestly, Callum. Obviously, you made up loads of positions at the start of the Grand Prix, but unfortunately, obviously, you were very good at defending, especially quite a few of those drivers. But yeah, I don't know. Talk us through sort of what happened with the DNF. Was it obviously a mistake by you, or was there a driver sort of putting you off? Or I'm not too sure. Obviously, we didn't catch it on camera, unfortunately. But yeah, what kind of happened?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, hats off to Dylan. I mean, we were racing each other so hard for like 11 laps. Like non-stop every single lap. He'd come back at me, I'd come back at him. He'd have to use the runoff, then I'd let him pass, then we'd go again for round 2. So thank you so much to him for being fair and a good race for that long. In terms of the DNF, basically I did the same thing I did to Dylan, just sent it down the inside into wall of champions. I took as much curb as I could to try and obviously get 2 cars through that side of the chicane. Obviously it worked with myself and Dylan, but obviously with the more tyre wear, I had a bit of understeer coming into the corner. Josh also taking the normal line, not trying to alter to let me through. I'd put it as a 50-50. Me trying to send it, obviously, I go in there knowing that there's a risk that I do DNF. And there's a risk that if that driver doesn't see me, then, we're going to come together. And we didn't really come together till the exit of the corner. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, Josh turning in, me understeering, both of it just really put me into the wall.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about, though, isn't it? Racing, obviously, like you say, we watched quite a few of the battles with yourself and Dylan. But yeah, side by side, wheel to wheel, it was a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure it was even more fun to drive, to be honest. But yeah, any thoughts going into Silverstone next week? Any sort of, I mean, obviously it's too early to call, obviously being a week away, but are you sort of going to be trying to sort of change anything from that you've learned from this week, or just go in it with your head held up high?
Wow, I mean, I think the philosophy for Silverstone is entirely different to Canada. Canada, like you saw with myself and Dylan being in front track position, as long as you can put that car in the right place, you stay ahead. In Silverstone, that's really not the case. Comes down to strategy, comes down to safety cars. I mean, Josh benefited a lot from the safety car today, going from like P15 all the way up to P4, I think he finished in. So, well done to him. But yeah, without that safety car, I don't think he'd have been anywhere near the top. So you just got to think about that strategy, and obviously hats off to the Red Bull guys for thinking of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you saw, obviously, a little bit further ahead of yourself. I think Charlie pitted maybe a lap or 2. He was on the mediums for almost 25 laps. He pitted a lap before the safety car. So yeah, again, it's all just luck, really. But yeah, those safety cars definitely helped some drivers and also didn't help some. But yeah, it fell into some drivers' hands and not others.
Absolutely, yeah. Well done to Joel as well. P2. I mean, it was inevitable he'd be up at the top, but after that safety car, I think. I mean, it wasn't Crashgate. I didn't do it on purpose. He needed one, but I didn't do it on purpose. I promise. No fines here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Callum. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And yeah, see you soon.
Right, give me a second. I'll just try and get one more into.
Yeah, can we get the Williams potentially?
Yeah.
Unless you got someone else. No worries. What is this song? The High Seas by Brian. Oh, it's an Assassin's Creed. Why the hell am I listening to this theme tune? What? It's because I took the F1 theme tune. We're getting all the theme tunes. Dun 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 dun. We'll listen to it. Screw it. As we are joined here by. Is Adam popping up as well?
I think he's just coming.
Just coming. Awesome. P5 and P6 though. I mean, absolute credit.
Honestly, after not being able to qualify yesterday, even though I started quite high up, I don't think I could have got P5. I have to say, here he is. A big thanks to Adam. He's a great teammate. Obviously, congratulations to him getting P6, but I think we are both extremely happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many points that relates to both of you, but yeah, great job. Obviously, Taylor as well. Obviously, you being on holiday last week or unable to qualify as well, and you know, I don't know where you, is it P13 or P12 you started, I believe.
P11, I think.
P11, yeah, all the way up to P5. Absolutely, was that 6 positions gained? Were the safety cars working in your favour, do you reckon, or
yes,
they definitely were?
we were basically at the pit lane entry when the safety car came out. It worked perfectly.
Yeah, we obviously, you know, we saw you fighting out, obviously, at the very start of the race. You pretty much paraded around the track very, very close to each other. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, what did one of you spin on turn 3 or turn 4? Or was that an Alpine? I'm not sure. I still can't
it was
recall.
An Alpine.
It was an Alpine. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I just couldn't be sure.
Then,
yeah, obviously, Casper, I don't know if you got any questions for the Williams guys at all.
I just think it was an absolute great drive, you know, with the safety car and strategy as well. You know, played brilliantly into your favour. Yes, just keep it up heading into next weekend, and yeah, just climb the constructor standings.
Thanks.
Definitely.
Right, I think that that wraps up most of the Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Obviously, again, a massive GG to not only the drivers, but obviously all the viewers, and hopefully you've all enjoyed it. I will more than likely be heading out on this stream. That might be live again, I'm not sure, to watch the Miami Grand Prix. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, a massive thank you to everyone who has tuned in. We are back next week at Silverstone in Britain for all of this craziness to unfold. And yeah, this league is turning out to be an amazing league, Casper. I can't lie. Every race seems to just be telling a different story.
Absolutely, and after a race like that, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get 5 guys, and I recommend you guys do the same.
Absolutely, I would if I could, Casper. I would if I could. But yeah, we are not sponsored by 5 guys, by the way. I wish we was, actually. Free 5 guys on the house.
GT Omega. GT Omega.
Yeah. What a muppet, Max. Hello, mate. Yeah, guys, we're going to head out. Thank you very much. Enjoy the Miami Grand Prix that's starting in 14 minutes. And also, enjoy your faces on the PMDG 737-700 tomorrow, releasing 1700 to 2300 Zulu. I would definitely be buying it at some point, and I will be streaming it at any single opportunity I possibly can. But yeah, see you guys soon, and adios.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.